Hi, Callie and Harther. I'm sending you my story because I need to ask for advice from outsiders because I do not know how my family or friends will react to my situation. Oh, no, it's going to be sad, isn't it? I have two major issues, so I will be dividing them to avoid confusion. Issue number one, the child out of wedlock. In the beginning of our relationship in 2019, he confessed that his previous partner was pregnant and they both agreed to lead separate lives without involving their parents. Right. During our engagement, his previous partner gave birth and his mother found out about it through a friend, but his mother posted the baby's picture on social media despite our request to take it down. I have not disclosed this information to my parents before we got married, fearing that they would reject our marriage, which happened in 2020. So, child out of wedlock in 2019, mother posting the baby on social media, they got married in 2020.
Cool.
Earlier this year, I resigned from my job and we had a trip with his mother. To my surprise, she travelled to meet his previous partner and the child without consulting us. She posted about it on social media and my mother comments under the post, "Who was the child?"
Oh, sticky.
As she was on her social media friend list, but his mother didn't respond. When my husband confronted his mother about this, she became disrespectful towards both of us. She would enter our apartment without informing us and continue to post pictures of the child on social media. She also treats me impolitely. Confused by her behaviour, I checked my husband's previous messages with his partner and discovered that he had promised his mother to always be there for them, which he hadn't mentioned to me. He also recently revealed that he had given his mother money but did not disclose the reason. While I don't mind him supporting his mother considering our situation, it's not right for him to do so without informing me beforehand. The situation raises suspicions that he might be giving money to his previous partner through his mother while I struggle to make ends meet due to our one-income household. I want to start a family of my own with him, but I do not know how his mother's actions will affect it. She wants my husband to be connected to his previous partner and care for the child, and it's unacceptable because this is not what I signed up for. I've told my husband numerous times if he decides to go through with his mother's wishes, it's best if we get a divorce, but he always denies the idea.
Ooh.
Issue number two, porn addiction. I had not inspected his phone before we got married, and on our first week together, I saw messages from previous relationships. In the messages, I saw that he was speaking to several of his previous partners while we were in our early stages of dating. If I had known, I would not have continued dating this man. Most of his conversations with them were very sexual and was not what he confessed to me when we first started dating. This has affected me so much as I do not have any sexual experience. I feel very lacking compared to all his previous relationships, and it haunts me to this day. I found his Reddit app on his phone earlier this year and deleted it after seeing pornography content. Later, I discovered that he had reinstalled it without mentioning anything. His job requires him to travel frequently, and during his absence, I felt compelled to investigate. I checked his computer's history and found that he had been watching pornography, including transgender content, for several hours. Despite knowing this, I chose to remain silent. Finally, I confronted him about the pornography issue and he admitted to having a porn addiction. He explained that he would spend hours watching it because nothing satisfied him anymore. I feel helpless because not only am I not his preferred type sexually, but I also lack the behaviours he desires. This insecurity haunts me during intimate moments as I constantly think about everything he has done and the things he wishes I would do. I keep thinking if porn doesn't even satisfy him, what guarantees that I do? I'm currently at the point where I do not know how I feel anymore. I feel like I've been lied to multiple times and our relationship does not have a steady base due to all the lies, and there's just so much overthinking going on in my head. I don't know if I'll be able to heal from it all. I don't know how to face him anymore without feeling this way. I still love him very much, but this is just too much for me to process and heal from should I get a divorce. At the moment, I'm unable to do anything as I'm unemployed, but a part of me is scared I will never move on from the damage of this relationship and will be imposing... Oh, so she'll be imposing her paranoia on a potential relationship. Right.
Okay. There is a lot to unpack. But one thing that I've understood from this... Okay, let's unpack it the way she did it, yeah?
So the first one, child out of wedlock.
So the child out of wedlock... Okay, cool. So you were talking... So in 2019, he's obviously had this child out of wedlock. And then in 2020 they got married, and then the reason that they got married was because of the fact that she's told her parents nothing about him having another child out of wedlock, because if she did,
they wouldn't have allowed it.
They wouldn't have allowed it.
So wait, I think the most important part of that child out of wedlock thing is him and the partner agreed to go separate ways. So I think she accepted that, you know, he's obviously said we're not going to see each other anymore, i.e. he has nothing to do with the partner or the child, and this is why she you know what I mean, she married him thinking basically no baggage, isn't it?
But can I just say, that sounds a bit like, how can you expect someone
to leave
their child, even though, let's say he cheated or the child was born out, whatever, that's still his baby.
And that baby is still out there. And it's always going to be in the back of his mind.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone, unless, like the likelihood of him completely relinquishing everything from that child and just going with you, I think that's quite small. And I also think it's a really difficult thing to expect from someone, even though it came from him, which I think he was only saying that to appease you, to stay in the situation.
That he would actually be without this
child. Because obviously he's giving this money to his mum to support the child. The mum is
We don't know that for sure.
No, but even if he did, though, even if he did give money to his mum,
he wants to be in the child's life.
Yeah, but even if he did give money to the mum, it's okay. Like, that's his money. He can do what he likes to it. But he needs to let you know. But I just feel like a lot of lies will come from this.
I don't think she's upset that he gave his mum money. I think she's looking at it from the point of view of she's resigned from her job. She basically is saying, you know,
like, how can he secretly support this family or whatever, or secretly give money to his mum, but I'm in this situation where I've resigned?
Yeah, how can you give this money to your mum when I need it more, basically?
But in my mind, I'm thinking,
even though there's nothing wrong with giving money to your mum.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's like that. I think that's where she's coming from. She's not coming from it. If she was employed now and she had her own money or whatever, she probably wouldn't think twice about.
Don't you feel like he's a little bit scared of her? Like he's scared of lying to her, so he's lying more to cover up his tracks.
Think about wedlock situation, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to sit up for this one. Is you knew what you were getting yourself into. You knew he had a child out of wedlock. Like, there is no way on earth a man is going to walk away from a child that is in the world. Do you get it?
Some men are deadbeat dads.
Some men are deadbeat dads, but they're still about.
Yeah, like
they still see the child. They might not be able to offer them anything, but they're still around.
Like, imagine he's not a deadbeat dad and he actually wants to be in his child's life, but because he doesn't want to lose you, he's basically lying. Which isn't a good thing. There's a lot of lying coming from him.
And he's lying out because of fear that he's going to lose you. And I just think, personally, I'm going to be
He needs to conquer that fear and just deal with it.
I just think this could be a really nice blended family.
Me too. If people were honest with each other.
You know what I mean? They all sat down
and they communicated.
And they said, you know what, these are the boundaries. This is what I'm willing to do. This is not what I'm willing to do, X, Y, and Z. He can go and see the child on the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the money thing is spoken about as well.
Yeah.
This could be a nice little blended operation.
But because he is leading with lies and deceit and like fear of reaction and consequences of what could happen, he's not living his truth.
Yeah, and also he keeps experiencing these walls.
And also, yes. And the other issue is she keeps finding everything out. And she's like always in this, her investigative hat is always on. The detective is always there.
And it's not nice to be in your investigative, you know what I mean, constantly, because it really, like, there's high cortisol levels, high stress
anxiety,
levels.
24/7. Yeah. But I also get why the detective hat is always on, because he's constantly lying.
He's constantly lying. And also this mother as well is like, I don't feel, do you know what I mean? I don't feel that what this mother is doing is wrong. She just is a grandmother and she's leading with love and she wants to see her grandchild. Do you know what I mean? I feel like posting the pictures on social media, little bit trifling.
But also she's not treating her well.
I feel like she's stirring the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the disrespect came from the fact that she caught her in the social media situation, because her mum commented on the picture saying, who's this child? Therefore, she confronted the mother. And then that's when the mother started becoming a bit mean.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. So she confronted her and said, like, she confronted her about it, and she said she was really disrespectful towards me. And then she's been really impolite. So if it's a case where there has just been, you know, a track record of her being horrible to her throughout the whole process of this marriage, okay, she's not a nice lady. But if she was angry because you caught her out, people don't like to be, you know what I mean? People don't like to face their shit sometimes. She's looking at it from a point of view where this is my grandchild, I can do what I please. The biggest thing in this relationship, the thing that's driving a wedge between everyone, is the fact that this baby is a secret.
Yes. And the thing is, I think what she needs to also acknowledge, and I'm not saying it's your fault, I think you've been put into a situation where, like, he's made you promises that haven't really come true. Do you know what I mean? So I genuinely think everyone needs to sit on a table, kumbaya, and they need to talk about this, because this baby's not a secret. He will come out. I think she needs to accept the fact that he does have a child.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be in whether he's in the child's life or not, I feel like that's going to come up. But
I think that's his choice.
Yes.
I don't think that, like, even though he may have said to her all these things about not wanting to be, I don't think that's how he truly feels. And I feel like a lot of things a lot of honest truths need to come out. If he feels as though he wants to be in the child's life, tell your wife you want to be in the child's life.
Yes, but also that means she needs to be honest with her family that she's got a fear of, because if the mum is texting on the social media and there's messages about the baby, they need to know that this baby belongs to him.
So look, him and her are basically good. Do you know what I mean? I genuinely think
after the babies come out,
issue number one, the wedlock one, him and her are good. Yeah, all they need to do is have a conversation about this baby situation, right? Now,
no, but she's not good.
But wait, I'll tell you why she's not good. The fear from her is telling her family that this man that she married had a baby.
Yeah.
And that's why she's doing a lot of this
anxiety.
Yeah. She's worried that the baby's on the social media, all of this.
Yeah. And the lies coming out.
So there's big lies here, and the lie needs to come out. Now, him and his mother, I feel like him and his mother, you know, they have this strange little dichotomy. Like, she's doing, you know, I don't know.
But I feel like that's a grandmother. I think we should leave the grandma alone.
I think grandmother's
just
cool.
Happy. She's just excited.
A happy lady.
She's got a grandkid.
I want to post my kid on social media.
Just
that's
let
my
her
flesh
pause.
and blood. Do you know what I mean? That's what she's
pause.
thinking. So I think take the mother out. And I feel like, but also don't see what she's doing as disrespectful. She's just thinking, she's protecting her own, basically. Yeah. That's what she's doing.
And another way to, like, handle in-laws, honestly, just be happy, smile. If they say something, swallow it. It doesn't you don't have to react to everything. Do you know what I mean? Because right now, she's got bigger fish to fry. You and your husband need to be seeing eye to eye.
Exactly.
You need to be a team now.
And she needs to talk to her family and tell her the truth. The truth needs to come out.
Exactly.
The truth is the baby.
But I think they should get the truth needs to come out.
The baby needs to not be a secret anymore.
The baby needs to be released, but he needs to be reborn.
The baby needs to basically just, do you know what I mean? We need to sit the baby down.
Do you know what I mean? We need to do a aqiqah for the baby with the name reveal.
The baby needs to have a baby shower and a gender reveal.
A gender reveal. I'm here in the world.
I'm alive.
This is me again.
I live. I have a family.
Exactly. And the husband and the wife need to sit with her family, and they both need to...
Family intervention.
Yes, they both need to reveal that information.
But take the mother-in-law out, because
take the mother-in-law out.
She doesn't need to be in that intervention.
It needs to be the husband and the wife
and her family,
and they need to be a team together and reveal this information.
Exactly, husband and wife together, reveal the information.
Perfect.
Take the little hat off the baby.
Hello, I'm here. Right? So that's one problem solved.
Right.
Okay.
Second scenario
is the porn addiction and the money.
Was there money?
There was something about she obviously lost the job and he's giving money to his mum.
No, that's in the first situation.
Was that? Yeah, also, can we just go back to that quickly?
Yeah.
Also, again, I genuinely believe 90% that money is going to the child.
It goes to the child, yeah. And also, once you've had the conversation, you're a unit and you're a team and the baby's been revealed, you'll feel a lot less upset about the fact that the money's going to the child.
Exactly. And then also you can talk about, finances and what's going where and and the conversation about money and things like that. And you're going to feel more happy. Cool. Next part, the porn addiction.
Right, porn addiction and Reddit, porn on the Reddit. She looked at his phone. That's what she saw.
Right. Porn addiction. It's a real thing. If he really cares about the fact that he's got a porn addiction and he wants to get better, genuinely, NHS, they do therapy sessions and counsel sessions, CBT, they can do hypnotherapy against porn addiction. Did you know that? I think he needs to, if he's being serious,
he needs to take, about wanting to get better.
Exactly. He needs to take an active step to do that.
He needs to come into the light.
Exactly. Another thing I would say, if he's being serious about the porn addiction, he needs to try and stop porn for 30 days.
Right, so she's more concerned about the type of porn that he's watching, which is several hours of transgender pornography.
Can I just say something about that, actually?
And also, she feels as though she's not his preference, and therefore the bedroom situation is suffering.
So part A, part B, and part C. So part A...
Therapy.
Part B, another fun fact about porn addiction. It's similar to it's similar to any addiction, I'll be honest.
Sex addiction.
And sex addiction, yeah. Is the fact that, like, the more you get into the addiction, the worse it basically becomes. And the more, like, you need more graphic things to get you off. Yeah, like, people they're into more, like...
Just weird shit.
They're just into weird shit to get them off. Do you know what I mean? It's an actual addiction. So, like, it's...
So he probably started looking at
vanilla.
You know what I mean? Two people, just... And then he probably moved on to something a bit more rough.
It's a gradual thing. So I wouldn't I can see why you would feel anxious if your husband was not watching porn that is similar to you or like how you look. But I genuinely think I don't think it's anything to worry about in terms of preference. I don't think you need to feel like because he's into this crazy and like... Yeah. No, I wouldn't say crazy, but because he's into
something a bit more outside of the remit of
who you are,
it doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't
not into
like
you.
you. Yeah, it just means that he can't get off to regular stuff no more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, he needs to have some form of therapy to get himself back. Also, if a habit. Now, I'm not comparing porn addiction or having an addiction to having like an addictive personality or an addictive habit.
No, all
but
of these
just
things
generally
can be
seeing if you abstain from something
for 30 days, as Oprah said,
a habit generally goes away. So it's just what he needs to do is just think about if he's serious about this. Is he willing to work on it and be done with it? And the other thing I would say...
But it's about how... It's linked to the way that he's thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? If he, like, reframes his mind and decenters the, like, sexual stuff that he... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The things that he thinks he desires but doesn't actually desire that. Do you know what I mean? If he, like, uncenters that and starts thinking about things in a more healthy way, he can combat this addiction.
Yeah.
It's like smoking cessation. It's like sex cessation.
Basically. I mean, we're just two idiots on the internet.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think sex cessation is a thing, to be honest.
But we're just two idiots. But we're trying to give you a practical way to think about this.
Yeah, like, it's literally about how he thinks about
the world.
It. He's thinking, right, I need to go in that corner and get my next fix in.
But the other thing that I was going to say, part C, because Tom's making me laugh.
Honestly, it's all about how you think.
It's your frame of mind.
It's like when you wake up in the morning, if it's the first thing you're thinking about, you've got a problem.
You do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have different vices. Now, we're not judging.
Yeah, but the first step is to accept that you have a problem.
Yeah, and the second step is try and get help. But the last thing that I want to say about the porn, did you know, right? When people get married, they've got different thresholds for sexual activity. In the sense that, I mean, some people want to do it all the time. Is that a threshold? Yeah. Some people want to do it all the time, and other people are like once a week. And it's your libido. Do you know what I mean? It's your level of libido. You can't change that. So it's like you need to have genuine conversations about that, because in her mind, he might have a different libido to her.
In the first few weeks of marriage, people tend to be rabbits, right? And then you start to
Some people aren't though.
Some people aren't. Some people are like 1 weekers.
Yeah.
Some people are like 1 monthers.
Exactly. So she needs to figure out
What their frequency levels are in terms of how often they want to, you know.
Exactly. That's why you need to know your partner.
Yeah, you need to know your partner, and also you need to like. But I feel like if someone is a 1 monther, right?
1 month. Oh,
I know.
God.
You need to bring them to a 1 weeker, and if they're a 1 weeker, you need to bring them into it 2 times a week.
Essentially. But the point is, the only way to do that
is to talk
and to communicate. And these two don't look like they're talking.
No, it's just yeah.
Yeah. So I just think you both need to, and you know, we're getting a bit explicit in this, but you know, we're here to help you, love.
We're here to help, right?
So if you are basically feeling like you don't satisfy him enough, I think you need to have that conversation with him.
I think it's something that you can both sit down about and you can actually find
Engage
out.
it.
Yeah, find out what his views are on the matter. He might not even realise
that's how you feel.
That's how you feel. And then he could be like, well, I need to step my game up.
Exactly. You might be a little freak and you don't know.
You don't know. And also, the more times that you do it and the more you get comfortable
with each other,
the more you're likely to
explore.
Right.
I think we broke that down.
I think we did quite well.
Give me a high five.
That's why we're on 100k.
That's why, because we know our stuff. We're 2 idiots that know a lot, basically. This should be called the podcast 2 Idiots, I'm telling you. Anyway, you know, the men on the internet don't come for us. We're trying to help you, though. I'm trying to put your wives on game.
Yeah, we're trying to put you on game.
We're trying to put you on game, not even the wives. Anyway.
I swear, I think there's like very smart men that watch us because they want to understand the female psyche. Men, if you're smart, you need to watch us because we will tell you everything you need to know to understand your partner. And
then the last and final thing that we are going to wrap this up with is just say, listen, married couples go through some crazy stuff.
The absolute craziest things. No one will even know what's happening.
Exactly.
Like, but sometimes you're like able to fix it together.
I genuinely think in this
is fixable.
I think this is fixable. I genuinely think with good communication, if you're both honest with each other.
And you're both willing to work on things together.
And if you let go of the past and you look forward and you get to know each other, what you want, what your needs are, and you solely trust each other, I think this could work.
You can walk into the sunset with each other, hand held, including the baby.
Yeah. And then you can have your own family. The
baby is a part of their family now.
And I'm saying, yeah, but they can have their own
baby.
Yeah, if that makes sense. But the point is, I genuinely don't think that you need to feel like it's the end of the world.
I think you know what it is. A lot of things on the internet scare you as well. You know, when you start typing things like porn addiction or emotional abuse on the internet, you're like, whoa, my partner is an effing psycho.
Yeah.
Right? And you start reading 5 signs that your husband is, you know what I mean? Like that type of content. It drives you crazy. I just think that people go through.
Oh no, we missed the biggest part.
What?
He's talking to other women. I just missed that.
He's not talking to other women, is he?
She found the messages.
No, you need to bring that up because I don't remember reading that.
I've just ended this off as a happy bloody scenario and I remembered.
No, it's
also, how did he get pregnant in 2019 before we enable a cheater?
I'm bloody fuming now.
I'm fuming if I've put my eggs into this basket and it's not what it is.
Just for 1 second, just pause the advice that we've just given. Go on, Harder.
Right. In the beginning of our relationship in 2019, he confessed that his previous partner was pregnant. Right, so he didn't cheat then?
No, the
that's fine.
Valid. Go down to the end. The marriage is valid. He's not talking to other women.
He is. She found text messages.
From when? Before, previous.
Shush, wait.
From before they were together.
Shut up. I've got you. I've got him. I'm angry that I've got him.
How did I forget that?
Because you were reading it. You're slow.
Sometimes, you know, when I read, guys, I don't imagine. I don't imagine what I'm reading in my head.
Okay, right. Let's examine this evidence. I had not inspected his phone before we got married, and on our first weeks together, I saw messages from previous relationships. In the messages, I saw that he was speaking to several of his previous partners while we were in the early stages of dating.
Oh, dating.
If I had known, I would not have continued dating this man. Most of his conversations with them were very sexual and was not what he confessed to me when we first started dating.
They were dating.
Yeah.
I don't think she should have been him. I still don't think
No, I don't think she should have been him. But he's, okay, if we have a radar of scumbag and arsehole, and the top is scumbag, and the bottom is like...
And then we've got the median line.
He's like just past...
Just below, I feel like just below the median. Just below. Because you know what? If he was above the median, everything in the zone of above the median line is he was married whilst doing that, but below is dating whilst doing that. You know what it is though?
He's
really
disappointed me, this man. I was on his side.
I too. I said let's fix things.
Me too.
I still think it's salvageable though.
Me too.
Because technically, if they're two Muslim people, hold on,
they can get through this.
They can get through this with Allah's help.
Not everyday divorce.
Not everyday divorce.
But I genuinely think they can. If he is honest.
If he's honest about those messages, if he's honest about the baby, if he's honest about the porn addiction and is willing to work through that in a professional sort of way, using services, they can get through this. If
he is a good man.
If he's inherently a good
and he treats you well.
Look how he wants to care for the baby, but he's too scared. He wants you, girl. He wants you.
Do you know what I mean? I genuinely think people make mistakes, and this man's making a lot of mistakes.
Do you know what I think he's doing everything he's doing in the relationship. I think he's doing because he fears
the consequence of losing her.
The abandonment and the rejection from his wife.
Yeah. But then I'm not saying that's her fault.
No.
That's him.
That's all on him. But I just think everything can be solved if they both sit down together and they actually just talk.
No. And if you do this in a couples therapy setting, and you both air out everything, and then you like draw a line
under it,
and you say, from this moment on, I hereby declare that I will be honest, truthful, and I will be everything to you.
Yeah. And from this moment on, I will work on my porn addiction. I will be honest about how I'm feeling about my child. I will talk about the financial situation with you, and we'll have our little boundaries and things. We can even have our little spreadsheet if you want. All of these things, I think she just needs to draw up a list of things that she wants from him and say, if you're willing to meet me here, then I can work with this.
Yes.
However, if you're gonna just, I go, we get back together, whatever, and then you just revert back to your old ways, then I'm sorry. I cannot do this.
But I think if she's giving him a chance, and he needs to really come with a lot, because she's giving him a big chance.
Hard,
yes.
Basically.
He needs to prove
show her
and us
that I am a changed man.
Honestly.
I'm working on myself.
Because I genuinely think you can salvage this. With hard work and commitment. But the biggest question of all is he worth it?
Is he worth it?
To go through all of this? Because if he is, deep down, if you know you've got a decent man, he's good and he loves you, and you feel like if you resolve these issues, if you can move forward with it, then I think you should do it. And I think the other thing is, if you do resolve this, you have to draw a line. You can't keep thinking, oh my God, but you did this to me. Like, no, you can't go back to that.
You can never talk about the past issues again.
No.
Unless he goes back to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I say. I think this was a good one we dissected.
I was on your side.
I was on your side, damn it. But yeah, I think that's it really.
Yeah, I think this could work. I have a good feeling about these two.
I think so as well.
Pray your salahs.
Ameen.
And make a lot of dua.
And may Allah make this marriage beneficial and make you guys be married.
Unit.
Anyway, guys, we do have to wrap it up. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening to us.
It's just the one scenario, guys, but it's okay.
It's okay, but I think it's
all right. We had 100. We're very happy. We're going to go out and celebrate now.
Guys, we've got the live show coming up next week.
Got the live show coming up.
2 weeks' time, maybe.
Thank you so much for listening to our scenario. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy listening to the podcast version, please don't forget to rate us 5 stars on the Spotify and leave a review on the Apple.
Yep, and make sure you download our episodes and you share it with your friends, inshallah.
Because this is now a 100k podcast.
It is.
This is a 100k brand.
Amen.
Well done, Harder.
Love you. Love you,
Bye,
guys. Bye.
Bye.